Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Heba from My Little Journal, and today I'm here to share with you my new stamp sets. These are the stamps that are releasing in July 2024 on my website, and as always, I'll be linking it in the description box for you. But this month I have 3 new stamp sets. They released a little bit later than usual because we had a delay with one of the stamps, and I'll explain it in a little bit. But I'm going to get right into it. I want to share all my stamp sets with you. I'll share with you how they look when you stamp them out, and also we'll put a few projects together using the new stamp sets. Anyways, this first stamp is called Aria Alpha. It is such a fun stamp set, and like I said, I will share a few layouts using the stamp set, but I love how tall they are. They're quirky. Totally like my puppy Aria, and that's why I named it Aria. I just felt like it matched her personality basically, and very kind of fun to use in your daily journal or as titles in your projects. Okay, next up is this What Day Is It stamp set. So this might look a little bit familiar because the font is from my Bean Alpha. I love this alpha stamp. It's one of my favorites, and I really wanted to create days of the week so I don't have to stamp them out using the alphas in my hemlock and oak. And that's the beauty of creating your own stamps, because you can make whatever you want to fit whatever project you want. So these fit perfectly in the hemlock and oak, and I'm going to share that with you. But I'm really excited for this. And then I created the little small circles, and those are really fun, especially, well, let me say that I created these little circles to use in my reading journal. So I create a calendar every month and then stamp out the days of the week with a circle with the days of the week. And I wanted those circles with this font, so I created both on one stamp set. And I'm so excited for it because it's going to be perfect in my reading journal. But also it would be perfect to do maybe a list of things you did every single day throughout the week as well. That's fun. So this last but not least is my Get It Done stamp set. As you guys know, I love to clean. It's one of my favorite things to do. It relaxes me. I know people find that to be crazy, but it's something I enjoy doing. And so what I wanted to do was create a cleaning stamp set that I could use in my daily journal to document the days I cook or clean, go groceries. So I added some fun illustrations. We got like the laundry, the grocery shopping, cleaning the dishes, taking your dog on a walk, cooking, vacuuming, and I made sure that that looks more like a Dyson because I love my Dyson. But I think this one's going to be so fun to use in your daily journal or to document cleaning in a project. Now, one reason why these were delayed for release day was this little stamp here. I redesigned this because it just wasn't coming out properly. It didn't look right, basically. So I did a little redesign, so it delayed the production a little bit, but you will get the new version with a better looking stamp here. And I will, like, obviously you can see that on the website. So you can kind of see a close-up basically, but this one just says somebody's got to do it. And then we have routine, clean home, cleaning day. It's time to do the thing. So this one's a fun one. And now I get to share all the projects that or let's say the stamping I did with these new stamp sets. Let me grab all my projects so I can share everything with you. Okay, so let's start with my creative journal. And so this is the cleaning stamp set. As you can see, I stamped it with color. I stamped it with black ink. Love the routine circle. It is a favorite. I love how bold it is, especially with black ink. And then you can kind of see all the little stamp sets. That's the stamp that I redesigned. There was, like I said, a little boo-boo there that needed to be fixed. And this is our Aria Alpha stamp. So fun. Love this one so much. And so I also did stamp What Day Is It? Yep, somewhere here. Loving that. And I stamped it next to this layout that I created, and I just love that font. Is so fun, especially these colors with the black circles. Those are the new stamp sets stamped out, looking beautiful. And now I want to share with you how I've been using them. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to share with you me using the stamps in my hemlock and oak. So you can see here my cleaning stamp set, which is Get It Done stamp set, fits really nicely in these boxes in my hemlock and oak monthly calendar. So I was really excited for that. That was a happy accident, basically. But I wanted to share a few layouts using the cleaning stamp. I used a few of them here to kind of document walking the dogs, doing the laundry, cooking, just stamping out clean house. I think I changed that to clean home. Yeah, in my new stamp, I changed that. But anyways, I was trying them out and they looked pretty good. I also wanted to share with you how I've used the Aria, Alpha, and let's see, I think it's down here somewhere. I journal every single day, so it gets kind of confusing. Oh, there's my cleaning stamp. Just used it to kind of talk about shampooing the rugs. There's my Aria Alpha. Just fun. It's not as bold as my Bean Alpha, but it's just a nice airy stamp. And I even used a different color to give it more of a bold look, and it worked out perfectly. I love this Alpha in my daily journal. I used the cleaning stamp. So this is a part of my cleaning, like get it done stamp. And so I used this, which says it's time to do the thing, but I used it to kind of talk about relaxing. So, you know, you can always think outside the box when it comes to your stamp sets. Even though this is all about cleaning and getting things done, it still works for other subjects that you're documenting. And of course, I totally forgot to talk about the days of the week, how they fit so nicely in this box, and they're so bold and they just give that really nice look. I love it. It's so fun. And if you don't want it to be as bold, you can always just stamp it with a lighter ink. So it doesn't have to be that dark, or, you know, you don't have to go with black. So I definitely recommend these new stamp sets. I still do want to share with you a process video using the new stamps. So I think I'm going to put something together in my traveler's notebook and maybe in my project life journal. It just depends if I have time. And let's just get to creating, because I'm excited to put something together using these new stamp sets. Okay, let's start working in my traveler's notebook. So I created a large collage. I wanted it to cover one side of my spread, so I printed it as a 4x8. And these are just photos of basically my daily life, like my routine. So I wanted to use the Get It Done stamp set and fill out these bubbles. This is a pattern paper from one of my Studio Calico Traveler's notebooks. And so I started by stamping a title, again, using my stamp set, and I use the It's Time to Do the Thing as my title. And then I'm using the little icons to represent everything I did that day. So I stamped out the laundry, cooking, the little pot to represent cooking, groceries, dishes, things like that. And this is why I love the stamp set, because now when I document my cleaning day, I have the icons for it. I also wanted to stamp the routine, but I couldn't make up my mind. So I stamped it in black ink, and then I also stamped it in that rustic orange to match my pattern paper. And I tried both out, and I actually really liked the rustic orange. I felt like it popped in between the black and white photos. So I'm going to go with that one. And you'll see in my next layout, I end up using that routine circle that I stamped out, so nothing goes to waste. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and stick down that little routine circle. And then I'm gonna grab my journaling and add it to the bubbles right next to the stamped icons that I stamped earlier. I've been asked a lot about journaling on matte sticker paper, and I just wanted to say that I basically size it beforehand. So before I print anything, I will size my journaling to fit wherever it needs to go on my layout, print it directly on my matte sticker paper. It blends in really nicely with the pattern paper. So if you have a pink background, it's just going to look like you printed directly on your page, if that makes sense. It just makes the process easier, basically. And I don't really like to use my handwriting much in my traveler's notebooks, so I like to print it on matte sticker paper. But anyways, I am done. I'm just going to punch out my holes for my peachy binder. That is my disc-bound traveler's notebook. I'm going to plop in my layout and call it done. And because I had enough time and this layout came together so quickly, I can work on another project. And I decided that I'm going to work in my Project Life journal. So if you're not familiar with my Project Life journal, I decided this year that I'm not going to work in pockets anymore. I feel like that's something that's behind me now at this point, and I'm ready for a change. And I decided that I'm going to use my hemlock and oak as my Project Life. So that's why I call it my Project Life journal. But basically, it's almost like memory planning. And so each week, I like to stamp out the week number. And I've been using the same stamp set. This is from Studio Calico. I'm not sure of the name, but if the stamp set is still available, I will link it in the description box for you. But I basically use it each and every week, and I just stamp out the week number in that column on the side. Now that I'm done stamping, I can grab my photos, which, by the way, I do like to print out my photos to fit within the column. But when I have horizontal photos, I don't mind if they take up 2 days or 2 columns. It's not a big deal. It just basically depends on how I took the photo. But if they go over one of the columns, it's not a big deal. Anyways, I'm going to start with Monday. And on Monday, I did a lot of cleaning. So I printed 2 photos from that day. And I'm going to use my Get It Done stamp set again. When I came to stamp out the routine stamp, I remembered that I already had stamped it out for my first layout and didn't use it, so I just grabbed it and stuck it down, and it worked perfectly. I also want to use What Day Is It stamp set to stamp out the days of the week. I usually don't do this. I don't add the days of the week, but I really wanted to showcase this stamp for you so you can kind of see what it looks like in different projects. So I stamped out Monday, and I'm going to be stamping out Tuesday right underneath that photo of Aria. I'm just documenting how cute she is and how grown up she looks now. I do like to document the dogs throughout the year because they change so much. But anyways, I also wanted to document that I had a lot of orders come in and I was packing almost all day Wednesday. So I'm just going to be stamping Wednesday vertically because I have a horizontal photo and I didn't want to take up a lot of space. Wednesday is a big word, so I made sure to stamp it vertically so everything fits and I can fit my journaling as well. I also wanted to add the numbers for the days. So what I decided to do was use my Sema number stamp to stamp the numbers next to the weekdays. That way I can color in my numbers and bring in a pop of color to my spread. Once I do that, I'm going to grab a pack of die cuts. So I like to use my die cuts in this journal because I don't get to use my die cuts much in my layouts, and this is a great place for me to use them. So I went through the pack just to add a few here and there. I think I even go back to it to add more, but I just want to use as many die cuts as possible. Now I'm working on Thursday. So on Thursday, my daughter and I went car shopping and we finally bought her a new car. And I wanted to document that. And right before I stamped out Thursday, I decided that I want to layer Thursday and Friday between my 2 photos because it did take us 2 days to decide on this car and purchase it. So I went ahead, removed the photo, stamped out Thursday and Friday, and then I'm going to add the photo in between So basically you'll have photo, days of the week, photo. And I really like that breakdown. It helps kind of add a little something in between those two photos. Okay, so I went back to my Sema number stamp and I want to stamp out the numbers next to Thursday and Friday. Once I do that, I'm just going to grab that die cut pack again and go through it to add a few more die cuts around Thursday and Friday. So I found this Go die cut. It's a big circle, but it's a little bit too big for my liking. And you'll see I will grab my circle punch and punch that a little bit smaller. I also found a few more die cuts that I felt like matched my stories and my photos. I just added a pile of them on my layout, but I will go through them and end up using a few more to bring in some more color. I love that weekend die cut. I feel like it fills in that space really nicely. So what I'm going to end up doing is basically stamping Saturday right underneath it. And I'll stamp Sunday underneath that bottom photo. That way my days of the week aren't too close to each other, if that makes sense. And I'll use the die cuts to break it down a little bit and add some color because the days of the week are pretty bold and black. So Saturday and Sunday are getting a little bit too busy for me. So I decided that I'm just going to focus on Saturday right now, stick down my photo, stick down the weekend die cut, grab my summa numbers, add the number, and then I'll move down to Sunday so I can kind of get a vision of how this is going to look. I usually do that. I try really hard to work day by day on these spreads so I don't get overwhelmed. Anyways, now I'm going through that pile of die cuts. I'm going to add a few die cuts here and there. Again, I'm trying to match it to the opposite side. So I'm choosing colors that, kind of help the layout flow. At this point, everything is stuck down. I do want to color in my Sema number stamps. It will help bring in some of that yellow to my spread. Once I'm done with that, I decided that I want to add a large title to document us buying a car for Sabine. So what I did was I grabbed my Aria Alpha stamp and I grabbed the stamp set from Studio Calico. It had a little car. So I'm going to stamp that in yellow just to kind of start off my title. And then I'm going to stamp out New Car Who Dis. And this is just like an inside joke between my daughter and I. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out my title right at the top. It's going to take up Thursday and Friday, just like my photos. Once that's stamped out, I will also be adding a drop shadow to my title. But while I was stamping out my title, that controller that I added to Saturday was bugging me a tiny bit. I felt like it was just kind of off. So I'm going to trim off the top portion of it. It had like a little wire to it. So I'm going to trim that off and I'm just going to center it because it just kind of looked off to me. Anyways, I'm almost done. I'm just going to end up adding my drop shadow to my little title and then I call my layout done. Don't forget, I will be adding all the links for all my new stamps down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.